I'm going to do that one on religion again. I'm almost out of wine. I'm drinking the blood of Christ tonight. So I wanted to go back and talk about how Christianity began. What is Christianity and in relation to other religions? Well, first we have to look when Christianity started. 0. The number's very easy for us Westerners. It didn't start at 50, it started at 0. But in my mind, if we go to the root cause of Christianity, I think it began with the Hannibalic Wars. Because what happened after the Hannibalic Wars and Carthage was destroyed, like World War II brought a mass migration of Semites to America. When Carthage fell in, let's say, 206 BC, there was a mass migration of certain people into Rome. And that changed the culture. And what we see is materialism, people pursuing money and power. The local Romans then were valuing money and power more than honor. Well, honor is a spiritual value. What are you working for? What do you want? Do you want lots of money or do you want honor? Do you want respect? Do you want peace of mind? Do you want happiness? These are spiritual values. Or do you want power and money? These are material ideas. They're external. They're not found in yourself. These are things that people pursued after Carthage fell. And the country became more and more corrupt and rotten. And feminism began, like in Rome. There was a wonderful debate called the Oppian Laws, where they talked about, I think it was Cato the Elder, who I like, very conservative. He explained what will happen to the country if we liberate women, he said. Well, what happened is the Roman religion started declining, and people were now pursuing a different God's value system, the Roman people. And as this God started to become more powerful, the country became more decadent, more licentious, more materialistic. And so what happened then is Jesus came around. And what did he do? He took the Roman religion, repackaged it. All the basic ideas of the Roman religion are in Christianity. That's why they share the same stories, And he repackaged it, the Olympian religion, Jesus did, and he presented it as an alternative. As an alternative to what? Judaism, which was dominant. Hannibal, Baal Hanan. You see? So really Christianity and Judaism are like alternatives on extremes. They're totally different in what they promote and what they consider virtue and vice. Absolutely. One's spiritual, one's non-spiritual, one's about the world. You need materialism, money, power, conquering countries, being in, spreading the people so that you're going to be as numerous as the people in the sky. Well, isn't that what they said about Hitler, that he wanted to conquer the world? The same thing with Putin, that he wants to conquer the world and spread Russian dogma throughout the world? Isn't that what they say? So this was how religion, we need to look at Christianity and Judaism as opposites. But what people have done is equivocate the two and combine the two. Now they're conjoined, Judeo-Christian. And I also fell into this trap until I read the Old Testament. And as I was reading this book, all 500 pages, I thought to myself constantly, like watching a movie where the plot line don't make sense. And it's hard to get into the story because you're always thinking to yourself, what's going on here? I don't understand. And what I didn't get, I couldn't reconcile, is that why is God saving these people? Why are they God's favorite? Why did he go through that much trouble to save the Jewish people? Because they're not at all like Christians, the Christian God. And the only way I could reconcile it in my mind is that, well, you got to have night if you have day, because how do you know what day is unless you have night? And what about good and evil? You need to have opposites on this planet. It's a dual planet, and there's a duality to everything. So maybe that's why. But that did not make sense to me, because there's enough evil amongst our own people. Why do we need to bring in others? It didn't make sense. But that's the hypothesis I was working off of as I read the Old Testament. Well, then I realized, different God. They worship a different God. And then, oh boy, after I realized that, I tell you, so many things of my understanding of the world just fell into place. Whether it's Iran, feminism, abortion, you name it. Left, right, Republican, you name it. All fell into place. It's a different God. They worship a different God, and their God is kicking the Christian God's ass.